is marriage even worth it anymore?
I think it's just real life. That spark will fade.
We've seen a rise of people who are separating or divorcing because that chemistry, that spark, the thing that drew them in together now is being challenged, and they don't know if they want to stay committed to it.
So relationship is not about a feeling. Relationship is about the willingness to give and take. Hello, I'm Mike Moore, and this is the How to Win podcast. These podcasts are based off 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14. It says, "Now thanks be unto God who always causes us to triumph in Christ." We're so glad to have you with us today. I have my girl with me, my daughter Tiffany.
Hello, hello.
The director of How to Win. Guess what? We're in our second month.
Yes, we're in Love Month.
We're in the
Black History
love
Month.
month. So we've got a good start. Have you got a good start?
Yes, I've had a good start. What about you?
I've got a good start. Got some goals for this year. What about you? You got any goals for this year?
Yep, I already started those and got those going.
Are you working it out? You know, we talked about it in our last podcast series about how sometimes we start these resolutions or goals, and then they just kind of fizzle out. Now, we've passed January. You still on?
Yes.
Okay.
Still going strong.
I'm still on target now. I've slipped a little bit, but my goals are not based off perfection.
What you slipped on so far?
They're based off consistency. One of my goals was to get into bed earlier.
And you haven't.
I'm doing good. I really am consistent. But sometimes, like last night, I didn't. You know, I started a mentoring program for pastors.
And how is that going for you?
It's going great. We had our first mentoring, group mentoring time. It was wonderful, and now I'm in the seasons in that time frame where we're getting ready for the next one. But it's going good. I'm excited about it. But we're in the love month.
Right.
I'm excited about the topic today. I really am. I'm expecting to learn some things from you. I thought about the subject, the myth of easy love, why commitment matters more than chemistry. That's a good subject. And when I saw the subject, you know, naturally, I've been in a long-term relationship with my wife, 47 years, headed toward 48. And so, this subject makes me think about our journey.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think about others who are maybe dating or entering marriage. This is a good subject. What do you think about it?
Well, I wanted to start this conversation because I feel like marriage is one of those things where I feel now people are questioning more than they ever have. I think that the divorce rate has kind of increased. I feel like people are feeling less committed, like they don't have to be married. So I wanted to talk about this conversation because a lot of people, and I see in my generation, we have a thing called threads where people are asking questions. So one of the big questions is marriage even worth it anymore? And so I wanted to, because I know that you said that you've been married for a long time, so you've had the ups and the downs,
right,
the good and the bad. And so before we get into the topic of it, I wanted to hear your advice or your wisdom or whether or not you still believe marriage is worth committing to.
I'll answer that question, and it's a good question. And my immediate answer is yes, it's worth it. I think the important thing is to distinguish the perspective of marriage, whether it's a worldly viewpoint or whether it is a biblical or Christian viewpoint.
Right.
So when you evaluate marriage and what's going on in our contemporary world, and you see all the turmoil in marriage and the conflict in marriage and the divorce rate, and then some people not even choosing marriage.
Yeah.
But that's because we're basing our basing on a worldview. God created marriage. So if God created marriage, then it's something good.
Do you think that Christians are setting a good example when it comes to that?
No, I don't think we're setting a good example, because the Bible talks about renewing the mind, which means as Christ followers, when we get saved, we don't have the mind of Christ. We don't have a renewed mind. We bring a worldly mindset into our Christian journey. And the Bible tells us we have to renew our minds or exchange the biblical or God's way of thinking for our natural way of thinking. Unfortunately, much of the time we bring into our marriages a world way of thinking, and it doesn't work. So since it doesn't work, we said marriage doesn't work. But it doesn't work if you don't work it the way God intended for it to work, because He is the creator of marriage.
So when we're talking about the myth of love, so I'm going to ask you first, what do you think some myths are? And do you think, because I know newlyweds kind of had this myth of like it's going to be all roses and sweets and all of that. And then when you get into about 20 years or more, you have a different expectation. So what do you think some myths of love that you see now that you've in it for 40-something years?
I think the myth of love is that it's going to be very easy, because that's our topic, that it's going to be easy, and that if we find the right person, then it's going to be smooth sailing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our life partner. And I think that's a myth. I think it's even a myth to think that even though God instructed you concerning your marriage or getting married, and I think we should involve God on even the decision of who we marry. There's a myth that if I marry this person because God showed me this person, or I marry a good person, then it's going to work. I think that's a myth, that I can get married and it works. Effortless.
Yeah.
Easy. No challenges. No ups and no downs, and no need to process. No process, just automatic. I think that's a myth.
So I think this topic is good. You said it earlier that it's good for people who are looking to get married, or people who are dating for marriage, and then it's also good for people who are already married. One of the myths, or one of the things that people kind of get confused, is compatibility and chemistry. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is, why do you think that people mistake chemistry for compatibility, and what's the difference between those two?
Okay, I think the reason why people are disappointed and disillusioned is back to the fantasy.
Yeah.
And the fantasy is connected to the chemistry. What we want, because there's a difference between chemistry and compatibility, but what we want is chemistry.
Right.
Okay? We want chemistry as those sparks, you know, where you see this person, and even if we don't go as far as love at first sight, we have this attraction toward this person.
Right.
We like the way they look. We like the way they walk. We like the way they dress. We like the way they talk. You know what I mean? It's our kind. He's tall. She's beautiful. She's built. She likes all these different things, and so we get caught up. And I must admit, I was a victim of the chemistry and the sparks and the intensity, because when I started dating your mother in college, man, I was very attracted to her. I thought she was beautiful. I thought Pete was just beautiful.
Yeah.
I said, man, she really nice. And then I thought she was real nice too. And, you know, just that's hanging together. You know, while there's this attraction, you know what I mean? And the novelty of it, anytime you meet somebody new, there's a energy that,
Or you see that version of them that they only showing you.
yeah, it's the energy. That's what chemistry is. It's the attraction. It's the excitement. It's the intensity, energy. Like you want to talk to this person all the time. You want to see this person. You want to be with this person, and that's chemistry.
Yeah.
That's the excitement. That's the sparks. But compatibility is not that at all. And that's what. Let me explain compatibility, and then you'll see how sometimes we get deceived or disappointed or disillusioned because we have these sparks and that brings us together. I want this person want me. I feel good about, I've got these feelings toward this person got these feelings toward me. But compatibility is about alignment. Okay, it's about how do we bring these two lives together and work and coexist without a lot of friction or constant friction. Because that's the part of the problem. And like I said, I made that mistake too. I got married out of attraction. I think Pete got married out of attraction. She may have been further along than I am. Men are visual.
Yeah.
I think Pete wanted a partner. I didn't know what that was. You know what I mean? I wanted her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So compatibility means our values have to align. How we communicate to each other have to align. Because some people, when they communicate, they attack. Some people, when there's communication, they withdraw. You know what I mean? They get quiet. Others want to talk. The other ones want to be quiet. Some people resolve conflict by blaming.
Yeah.
You know, and some people, they just shut down. See, these are things that you learn about a person over time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Over time. How can a person is that person willing to give themselves to you emotionally?
Right.
And here's what I mean by emotionally. How close does a person want to be? How transparent a person want to be? How honest a person want to be? So think about it. If you and I are dating and you want closeness, okay, but I want independence. You want connection. I want space. Then we're not in alignment. You know what I mean? You got certain things that you will do. I would never do that. I got certain things that I would do, certain things I wouldn't do, boundaries. All those things need to be lined up.
Well, let me
Can I add one thing? So compatibility involves time. Chemistry and attraction can be immediate.
Well, I got a little pushback on that because you've always told me that the lock and key are the things that work, not two keys and not two locks. So I do think that there are some things that's opposite. So when you think about the wife being the help me for the man, there are going to be some things that he may not have that she's going to help him grow in, right?
Right.
So how do you differentiate? Because you may think that we're not compatible, but we're just actually opposite.
Okay, well, that's a good question, Tiff. When I talk about differences, I'm talking about I'm talking about your personality. I'm talking about how God created you. Okay? Values are my priorities. Some of that needs to be in alignment, priorities. For example, let's say you prioritize faith. Very important to you. Religion is very important to you. I don't think all that stuff, I think man made all that. See, I think man made all that. Let's say, so if our values are, now we're different people, you know, we like certain things.
Right.
One may be extroverted, one may be introvert. I'm not talking about those personality things, the way God created you, but I'm talking about your values.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need time to discover, okay, this person values this. This person values family. I never had a family. I don't want to be around family. That's going to be a problem. I want to go to church. I don't believe in that church thing. That's going to be a problem. So values, conflict, the way we manage conflict, some people were taught conflict is bad.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to talk about it. You learn those things when you're dating. And you want to know that those things are aligning. Like there are certain shows your mama like. I don't like those shows. I like sports. You know, I want to watch sports. She don't care about watching sports. Those are preferences. Preferences are different than values.
Okay, so we're talking about commitment mattering more than chemistry. So let's say that the couple have now entered into marriage. They felt they had chemistry, but now they're trying to see, okay, well, this compatibility thing may be a little bit off. But now my attraction has faded, and I still have this commitment that I have to keep. What do you say to that couple who the attraction has faded, but they still have the responsibility of the commitment of the relationship?
I would say that that's real life. I would say, because what happens, you got this strong attraction to each other, but there's a lot of novelty about it. In other words, it's new, okay? I don't know a lot about you, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times people get married quick. Okay, then that routine set in. I see you without your makeup. You see me without being dressed up. I see you in your everyday lifestyle, but I see you every day, okay? So I think it's just real life that spark will fade. I think you can always be attracted to the person. I'm attracted to your mother. I really, after 47 years, I'm attracted to her, but it's different. It is not sparks. It's not that. So I would say to the person who you're in the relationship, whether you're married or you've been dating a while, and all of a sudden you don't have the sparks, don't immediately say, it's the wrong person, I miss God, we don't match, because now you're making chemistry about the relationship. When chemistry is not about the relationship, all the chemistry did was brought you together. Now it's time to work. I would say now it's time for both of you to begin to work on this relationship, because now you're bringing two lives together and reality sets in. Okay,
let's get into the meat of the reality setting in.
Okay.
Because I think like I said, we've seen a rise of people who are separating or divorcing because that chemistry, that spark, the thing that drew them in together now is being challenged, and they don't know if they want to stay committed to it. And so what do you do when that person, so I'll give an example. You have a husband, you said that men are attracted to the physical aspect of it. And you have a woman who may lose herself in, after she's had a baby, she's gained weight, and now the man may not be as attracted to it, although it's crazy, but some people are like that, right? Or where you have a woman, she was attracted to what you brought financially, and then you lost your job, and
That's
then
a
now
good
it's kind of
question.
like, okay, I don't know if the attraction is still there. What now then do you say to that person, okay, real life has really kicked in and now you have to do the work? What does that work look like?
That work look like seeing a relationship realistically. If you see a relationship as a feeling, is how I feel about the person, it's not going to last. I mean, it may bring you together, but it's not going to last because a relationship is not about a feeling. Relationship is about the willingness to give and take, the willingness to appreciate this person in a realistic way, that person is going to have some things you don't like.
Yeah.
You're going to have some things that your spouse or the person you related to not going to like. But the essence of the relationship has to be commitment. Are we committed to be able to do the compromising, the yielding, to loving in spite of those things? And I'm not talking about abusive behavior. I'm talking about just differences. Like you said, that differences. You got to learn to appreciate the difference, because sometimes we get married or we enter into a relationship and we start trying to make that person like we are. I'm going to make you into my image, when really I should be trying to understand what value do you bring to the table, because I got weaknesses, you got weaknesses. Hopefully I will compensate for your weaknesses, you will compensate for my weaknesses. But there's a lot of acceptance that go into the work. Acceptance in terms of you are unique, and I have to accept your uniqueness. I'm unique, you got to accept your uniqueness. And are we willing to invest in something that's not perfect? Because think about it, the mindset, it has to be this. We got something, now we got to build it. Okay, we got to build something that we both enjoy, that we both get value out of it. But we both got to be thinking about building, not bam, I'm married, bam, it should work, bam, why you're not acting, bam. See, relationships are not like that. Even in friendships. Have you ever had a friend, and I know the answer to it, that you became closer to over time? How did you become closer over time?
I'm just doing life with them.
Doing life with them. And so life means there's some good in it, there's some bad in it, there's some strength in it, there's some weaknesses in it, and you're doing life together, and you should be helping the other person should be helping you, and what we're supposed to be headed toward is true partnership. And that doesn't start in the beginning.
Okay, let's talk about building connection, because I know there can be times in the marriage, or I've seen where people have said there are times in the marriage where disappointment sets in. We're going to be talking about on the next episode, resentment in a relationship. And one of the things that came up was that sometimes you can see a person, and that's where you keep them. You keep them in that lane.
Right.
No matter what they do, they're stuck in this lane.
Right.
So how does a couple now reconnect or build a connection back after there's been disappointment, or the couple only see them in this one way, and that person is not able to get out of the way they see them in that way?
Well, you know, healthy marriage has a lot to do with growth. It really has a lot to do with growth. Growth means change. Growth means change. If I'm not going to allow you to change, then I'm not going to allow you to grow. And then I'm in a position right now where I don't understand marriage. I really don't. And a lot of people don't understand basic relationship and basic marriage. It's about growth. That person is going to grow, and it's about self-awareness. I haven't arrived. If you think that, okay, you got to get it together, you got to get it together, and you see that in couples all the time. You got to get it together, then you're saying, I have it together. I'm perfect. I'm 100%. So you got to get yourself together. So right there's a blind spot that I have because I'm not fully the best version of myself.
Yeah.
I'm always getting better. You're always getting better. And so the truth of the matter is both couples, and here again, it's about alignment. We should be in alignment about growth.
Okay, so let me stop you there on growth. So you said allow them to grow. Practically, what does that look like? Because you may have one person who is allowing them to grow, but they're not seeing the growth, right? So does allowing them to grow mean continuing to let them make the same decisions and you just don't say anything about it? What does that practically look like?
It looks like accountability. It looks like
Is that accountability from the spouse or accountability from other people?
It's mutual accountability between the couple.
Okay.
Because see, the bottom line on it, when you were single, and if we're talking about marriage, when you were single, you could deal with life the way you wanted to. When you decided, or a person decides to get married, they're choosing to move from me to us, me to we. So that is mutual accountability. I have to hold you accountable, and you have to hold me accountable. You know the problem with that is maturity.
Right.
Maturity. I'm using my wife and I. My wife's nickname is Pete. I'm using us because I can see how things have evolved. Like early in our marriage, we didn't fight like physical, but we fussed. I mean, and we would fuss about small things. I mean, just little things. We would fuss and get lost in it.
Like you said one time, you would say something to her, like you would hold her accountable, and then she would get quiet and wouldn't say nothing to you for the whole day.
Not initially. She coming straight back at me. In other words, it's like a win or lose situation. No, your mother wasn't like just shutting down like that. She gonna argue until she gonna win. She wanna win. Okay, so my pride jumping in there, I wanna win. Okay, a lot of that was immaturity. As you age and grow, because you can get old and still be immature. As you mature, it ain't that deep. See, a lot of stuff it's not. Listen, you don't just want to win. When you get mature, it's not about winning. It's about understanding. It's about us together getting somewhere. Because we don't want to have those quiet moments. Because once we done did the little fussing, your mother is shutting down. And it may be 2 days, it may be 3 days, it may be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
She's shutting down. Or I'm like this, I'm pouting too. Because see, I'm feeling disrespected. See, so my ego is in the way. And I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at her. And that's what you do a lot when you immature. You look at the other person, you don't look at yourself. So the bottom line on this relationship thing is your mindset.
Okay, let me stop you right there. So you use the word winning, and I think that is a term that I would say that I hear a lot of couples arguing about. They may not say it's called winning, but they want to win or they want to be right. So touch a little bit on the the winning aspect, because I feel like for some couples, winning for them means that I have to be right.
Right.
Right. And you said that no one really wins when there's tension in it. So how do you break that spirit of I have to win, making it more about me versus it being, because this is the thing, it could be a win that you feel like is a right win.
Right.
How do you break that now as a person who knows that it may be right or feels that it may be right, or they could be wrong? How do you now pull back from that I want to win to, okay, how can we now communicate in a way where we may not agree, but we still can communicate?
And really, back to the thing you pointed out, that sometimes people, they don't have this favorable perspective of marriage because what they see, even in Christians. What's problematic is that we enter into a couple's relationship, but we don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
Okay? So if we bring a singles mindset into a team game, it's a team game. So if I'm playing team sports, I win. And whatever I do to win. And when I win solo. But in a team sport, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, one person doesn't win. The team wins. So it's mental, it's mind renewal, it's thinking, I may win the argument, but I lost the game.
Yeah.
Because see, the bottom line on it is we, even in our conflict, we got to move to a place that we both can agree, maybe agree to disagree, but we got to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Because one can't get across the goal line without the other one.
Right.
And so it has a lot to do with maturity. I don't want to win anymore. I want us to work this out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one just right and you wrong, because it's not a competition. So that has a lot to do with maturity. As you mature, and you got two people maturing, a lot of the conflict mellows out. And then when you have the conflict, it's not the same way it was. It's not like we enemies now. We just have an issue. We have a problem. We're committed to communicate. We're committed to talk. We're committed to compromise. We're committed to yield so that we both can cross the finish line. We don't want to cross and one behind, because if one behind, we didn't win. We're going to get disqualified. So relationships has a lot to do with maturity and understanding how the game is played. And the reason most marriages fail is because most people enter into a marriage with a fantasy. See, they have a fantasy. It's going to be easy. It's going to be smooth. I won't have to give up nothing. I can keep everything I brought into it. And that's a fantasy. That's not true.
Yeah.
And so it's this subject is so powerful, Tiffany, because some people hold on to the myth their entire life.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes people go from one marriage to another one. They still got that myth. And sometimes it's not. See, the problem is a team sport.
Right.
Let's say you did everything you knew to do in that marriage. You were willing to yield, you were willing to sacrifice, but you were married to a person that you weren't in alignment with.
Right.
Well, the next time, you got to approach it different. Because what you can end up doing, marry another person that there's no alignment.
Yeah.
Values, how we going to communicate style. Some people don't talk.
Yeah.
Well, if you ain't talking in your dating, you're single and you don't talk, you clam up, you withdraw. That's the way it's going to be in marriage. And if you want to talk, another person don't, you're not in alignment.
Yeah.
So compatibility has to do not with perfection, but alignment.
I would suggest, I took a assessment by Les and Leslie Pear, and it's talking about how to, I think it's like a self-love report or something like that in marriage. But it talks about different communication styles, how your spouse may communicate, and then how you communicate. It talks about your love style. It talks about your finance style, your argument style. So I think that would be a good resource if people are interested in kind of just seeing where their spouse is on that. But the goal for this topic and this conversation, again, is to beat some of the myths, but then also to help couples build endurance in their relationship. So what piece of advice would you give to couples who are, like in that mark, let's say 10 years or more, and they're trying to build endurance so they can have a lasting marriage?
Okay. Two things. Understand that marriage is seasonal, and understand that marriage involves continued investment. Okay. Seasonal means it's just going to go through phases. Infatuation, that's that chemistry, that excitement. And then you hit the reality stage. The person doesn't smell good all the time. The person doesn't look like this all the time.
Right.
The person is not nice all the time. You hit that reality stage. And then there's another stage, what I call the understanding stage. This is my categorize it. Okay, I understand now a little more about how it works and how it doesn't work. And then there's that mature stage. I think your mother and I are in a mature stage right now.
Now, because again, we're talking about myths. You're in a mature stage, but does that mean that y'all don't have disagreements?
No, we do have disagreements, but they're not the same.
Okay, explain that.
In other words, we're quicker to say, I'm sorry. Okay. We both want to not have the tension.
Yeah.
We don't want that. See, both of us don't want that. You know what I mean? She don't want me to be mad at her. I don't want her to be mad at me. That was the time we didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's different in that the expectation is different. Okay? It's more about partnership now. It's more about doing life together now.
Yeah.
It's more about companionship now. Now, I think you can still have some sparks. I think you can introduce things into it, invest things into it, some novelty into it, where you do some different things. But it's really not about, it's less about how you're feeling. And there's a place where you just enjoy the person. And now it doesn't matter whether you're dressed up or not, whether you're doing something outstanding or simple things, you kind of enjoy being with the person. That's a mature love where you're secure. I ain't thinking about nobody else.
Yeah.
I don't think she's thinking about nobody else. There's a security. I believe she got my back. I believe she would stand up for me. I'm not wondering. You're wondering less, so there's a comfort. That's a more mature kind of love than just, ooh, I just feel so wonderful. Because you're not going to feel like that. I don't feel it. I don't get up in the morning feeling nothing, but I'm committed to it. And that's maturity, is when there's commitment.
Okay, a rapid fire question. So we're going to be doing later on in this month, we're going to be talking to different couples about their relationships, how they met, things that they learned. So in your 42 years of marriage, what is that one thing that sticks out that if you could do it all over again, you would tell your younger self?
I would say acceptance.
Okay, explain that.
that God didn't create Pete in my image. That God created her unique and different than any person on the planet. Because sometimes, like I said earlier, you have this fantasy about what that person should be, and so you start trying to create it. Or you compare your spouse to somebody else and you don't even know to somebody else. And if you were in a real relationship with somebody else, you may not like them at all.
Right.
But you tend, so I would say my biggest weakness is that it took me a while to really accept who she was and be all right with it.
Yeah.
And give her an opportunity to grow.
Yeah. All right. So you said at the beginning that marriage is worth it. So you've been married for 42 years. 42, and it's going into how many? 43?
47.
47.
Going into 48.
Well, you've been more 47 years?
47 years. Be 48 in August, next August.
Ooh, okay. That's a
I'm
long time.
nearing the 50 mark.
Okay, that's good. So what, you said that earlier, that marriage is worth it. So what is something that's, for somebody who's been married for 47 going on 48 years, that marriage, people can look forward to in marriage?
They can look forward to the partnership. They can look forward to it getting better if you're investing in it. Time, money, and energy. If you're investing in it, even at 47, I got to invest in it.
Yeah.
Invest in it. Okay, I know what she likes. You know that person more now. You know what the person likes. You know what the person doesn't like. If she doesn't like it, why do it?
Right.
You know what I mean? If she like it, well, do it. You know what I mean? I want to give to the relationship because I know I got to give some. I can't cook. I can wash dishes. You know, and I'm not a cook. She cooks. I clean up the kitchen. I'm doing something. We talk about what we're going to do. We talk about the goals. Okay, we want to do this. We want to do that. It's worth it because of the joy of the partnership. You know, it's the joy of the partnership. And that if you have a renewed mind and think it's not just about how you feel and give it time to grow, it'll get better and better and better and better and better and better. And then having somebody to do life with, if you want that, because some people, they find without having a life partner.
Right.
But I like having somebody to do life with me.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't fall in love at this stage. You grow in it.
Yeah.
You grow where I love being with this person. I love it. I mean, I love being with. I don't always like everything she say and everything she do, but being honest, she don't like everything I say and I do either. So not having that, you got to be this way, you got to act this way, you got to do this for me to be happy. No, it's compromising. It's realizing you ain't perfect. You ain't bringing everything to the table. She ain't bringing everything to the table. And so it's a lot of understanding, maturity, growth, acceptance. It's a lot of stuff that you don't get in chemistry.
Yeah.
You don't get that. I mean, that's exciting. Anytime you meet somebody, that's exciting. But don't expect that to last during the duration. It should be some sparks. It should be some excitement. I'm not saying it should be boring, but I'm just saying it's a different kind of love. It's a mature love where you're there. I'm going to be there when it's easy. I'm going to be there when it's uncomfortable. I'm going to be there when you're having a hard time. You're going to be there when I'm having a hard time. So it's a different kind of love. It's a mature love.
Yeah.
And so now I can see the difference.
Yeah.
And I can see why sometimes people get married a few months later. Well, did I make the right choice? I miss God. Why? Because the sparks ain't there like it was. And now it's time to work and build something. You're building the relationship and you're doing it together. And you can create something beautiful or you can create a monster.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you guys got something from that. We talked about the myth of love. Next week, we're going to be talking about resentment in relationships. So make sure that you come back and tune in. If you thought that this video was great, you can also share it. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
No. I know.
Okay, well, we thank you all so much for joining into the end with us. We hope that you guys enjoyed. As always, be sure to subscribe and share this video that you know that it will be helpful for. And we will see y'all
Okay. All
next time.
All right.